you look at a lot of the headlines that have come out globally the last, I would say, what, 5-6 hours or so, tensions have eased somewhat. Have they, though?
You know, David, I don't think that they have overall. I think that the last overnight period, probably when you're waking up in Asia this morning, was a very confusing picture because there was a little bit of contradictory sway. One of the things that we saw was a letter that was going out that purported to say that the U.S. was ready to remove its troops and to say, you know, we respect your sovereign decision. But hold on and wait a second. That letter was now was a draft that shouldn't have been sent. It was poorly worded, etc. It wasn't meant for consumption. So now we're not pulling out. You know, I understand if people are confused about it. Here's what you need to know. There is a three-ship amphibious group that is moving into the Persian Gulf. It was in the Mediterranean. Now it's going into the Persian Gulf. So that is a U.S. move toward. There were also hundreds of thousands of Iranians who are out in the streets protesting and marking the end of the life of General Soleimani. And so that is something that you need to know. The threat on Iran is still operative. Iran's promises to retaliate are still operative. And President Trump's threat to sanction Iraq if it kicks the U.S. forces out and doesn't reimburse the U.S. for the cost of its military actions there is still operative. So all of that stuff is still operative.
And we have heard this kind of global call for calm now from the likes of South Korea, I think was the latest to actually chime in on this debate. Do you see any type of nation really playing a more assertive role in this dispute?
You know, I do see a lot of nations basically saying, look, don't go further. The old axiom that, you know, an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. And that is, I think, the developing line that you see all across the world, from allies like Boris Johnson all the way to South Korea to China, etc. So I think you are seeing people outside of the U.S. and Iran both basically saying, folks, just leave it here. Whether they will, I mean, that's obviously, that's the question.